All right. Good morning, guys and girls. Tradingology.com's trading room for January 26th. Our new schedule now, we're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at this time. So we're revamping the schedule to fit everything that's happening. So welcome back for this week's first trading room. And as always, we have our good friend Dave joining us. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, everybody.
Did you have a good long weekend? I shouldn't say long weekend. It feels like a long weekend from having a day off, but
yeah, I know it seems a little bit longer because the markets aren't open.
Markets are very odd. We'll jump over, take a quick peek at this massive drop in internals, and as we've seen before, it's kind of bouncing off the zero line, but we'll see what happens here. Good morning, Andre. Good to see you.
Yeah, we opened up positive pretty good on the on the issues 1500 or so, and just dropped right back down to zero.
Yeah, and yesterday we saw same type of volatility where it was slightly negative, big push up, then a big drop, and then it just kind of sat there all day.
Yeah, which is interesting because the market bounced back from like a 400-point loss on the Dow, but the issues never went positive. So it's kind of weird.
And so volume's doing our typical uneventful sideways action here. And we see similar, big jumps up right at the bell this morning on, I think it was all four indexes jumped a little bit, not much. It looks like the Russell didn't, or very short term. So RTY is already negative. Everybody else is close to zero.
So it was positive. It was just slightly positive. So yeah, now it's negative, but weird. Yeah, very weird trading because all the internals, like we've mentioned over the last few weeks, are just really muted.
I don't know if it's because they have all this unsureness. There's going to be a package. Well, maybe not now. Well, now today they're saying, okay, we're breaking the filibuster and we're going to release this, and now it's actually going to happen. So they're just back and forth, and the market, I think, is just queuing off of that.
Yeah, McConnell said, "Yeah, okay, we can do a deal." He's backing off his filibuster, but Schumer came out and rubbed it in his face. Schumer made a comment. That was a ridiculous idea.
Yeah, so they're just doing their political positioning, which is nothing the Main Street needs. It's nothing the average Joe and Jane benefit from. So that's why people get tired of politics, is for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid,
Tommy B's in the house, and I didn't cancel on him, so good to see you, Tom. Hanging out in the weeds. Tom was joining the last couple of times where we had to reschedule the trading room, so I'm glad I made this one for you, Tom, and glad to see you here. Looks like one thing I did notice too in our calendar that we do like to watch. I appreciate me showing up. Tom says you're hilarious. Consumer confidence had a stronger rating, which is one thing that we all know, or if we don't know, you should know, is one of the absolute biggest drivers of the market is consumers are in control of everything. The herds control it. So it's whatever we do as a mass. Doesn't matter what Powell says, doesn't matter what Yellen does, even though she is, we can chat about that in a second. It's all about the consumer confidence. If that is positive, that is going to change markets.
Yeah, consumer confidence is about 90% of the economy. So without that, we don't really have very much. And I think they're confident because they think another deal is going to be done. At $1.9 trillion in stimulus, people are going to get another $400. Is it 400 or 600 a week in unemployment benefits? I think it's 400.
Yeah, the unemployment benefits bounces up, and then they'll get another. They're looking at 1,400 to make it the 2,000 that Trump originally also asked for.
Yeah, yeah. And if they get that, there's no reason for consumer confidence to go down. I suppose, as long as the market stays up. If the market starts to drop and people see, big declines in their 401ks, then we're probably going to see consumer confidence start to decline. But I also appreciate Tom B showing up today.
Craziness. Yeah, and I did finally get to those Northman Trader videos. If you guys haven't checked those out, they are absolutely worth the time.
Yeah, you really got to take a look at those. So looking at the just the overall weather sentiment today, the kind of barometer of the market, CHI was up a little bit this morning. Now it's down 2 cents. It was down 4 cents. So we'll see what happens. But we got some big movers. I mean, Beyond Meat. I don't know if you saw Beyond Meat this morning.
I saw it was on the headlines for the new. I don't know what I want to call it. The new craziness. Would they BYND or what's their ticker?
Yep, BYND. Yeah, they were at like 159 yesterday. They opened up this.
Or
20%. Yeah, they hit a high just a little over 220, 159 to 220, just on that news. Unbelievable.
I can't believe you're talking about these guys, Dave. They're not in your pantry.
No, I'm ready to short them.
You're going to short them. There you go, right here.
I don't like anything unless it's real meat.
Exactly. Vegan food, Tom says. Yeah, we'll see. That's kind of like what was the other one that came out a few weeks ago that were like, they don't even have a inventory. DoorDash.
Oh, here's
how's Dash doing? Let's look at that.
Yeah, I mean, here's a company that went up about 450%. That hasn't filed an SEC report since 2018. Look at Dash. Holy cow, that's just completely reversed there. Yeah, interesting, huh? BLSP.
BLSP?
Yep.
Yeah, Tom says that those delivery companies remind you of .com. Yeah, a lot of the markets recently are feeling like 1999 again, aren't they?
Blue Sphere Corp hasn't filed an SEC report since 2018. Website is non-existent. Nobody knows what they do except they're in clean energy of some sort. And the stock twits got a hold of it and pumped it up from like 0.001 cent all the way up to like 3 or 4 cents. I think it hit 4 cents there.
Yep.
It's like 300-400% return. And it's just, the kind of stocks that are going up in this market really have to make you wonder if, people are just, the frenzy is just getting too much. Take a look at Koss. Koss, the company, KOSS. I love their speakers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people know.
Yeah, just insane. I went from about $4 to $3 there to almost 14.
And that's on. So who's leaking information? That's the question.
I don't know if it's information or just a short squeeze. A lot of these are short squeezes, like GME.
Well, and we got earnings in 2 days for these guys. So either someone knows something or people are just literally gambling.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Kodak last year times 10. I mean, there's just so many of these companies out there that, they don't have any earnings. They've really been hurt. And all of a sudden they're just like.
And this is where
skyrocketing.
This is where the stimulus money is going too. Because there's so many people that are getting it that don't need it.
Yeah, they took the stimulus. Yeah.
Like we say, I don't want to blame it all on Robinhood traders, but that's where a lot of them are going because it's what they heard about on their social media feeds. So, or they all text. So yeah, this is definitely looking at just the power of the herd. And that's why the spreadsheet and everything follows herding and see where the buying and selling is happening. It doesn't matter. Fundamentals don't matter here. Zero, nil. This is, 10,000 people saying, look, here's something I can buy for $1 and the whole pile of them buy it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. BlackBerry is another one. I mean, just absolutely insane. No real earnings at all, but man, it's just like taken off. All these stocks have really moved.
Yeah, for all the years in tech that BlackBerry was the leader.
Yep.
You leave it to now for them to make a jump from 4 to 20?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The 5?
Yeah, I think there was some sort of news that they had licensed the BlackBerry technology to some other company, but it's like nothing. It's a nothing muffin.
Yeah, they're the company that did nothing because they didn't pivot like the rest of the world did. Look what happened to them they were on top of the world when cell phones started, and they were the first ones. Every business person had a BlackBerry.
Yep, they were the business cell phone company.
Even Obama had one. He was the first one to have like a cell phone in office, right? And he had his BlackBerry.
Yeah.
And then they didn't keep up with the times, and Apple and Samsung took them over. And now they do this. So this makes zero sense to me, unless, like you say, they sold something somewhere, and that's odd. That's a head scratcher there. I'd have to read more into that one.
No, it seems like every day there's another stock that's jumped up in another 150, 200%. And it's getting a little bit, do I dare say, frothy? I mean, it's just insane, really. It really is. I mean, you got those kind of stocks going up, but we can barely make new highs, but we are. I mean, every once in a while we get a new high in the Dow or the S&P 500. But these companies that really don't have any, I don't know what their earnings are going to be, but, even if they're good, they're so thinly floated. They have such a small market cap that the herd, like on Reddit and StockTwits and some of these other sites, can push these things up pretty high. Tom likes nothing muffin.
Yeah, we were joking yesterday on the side if this was going to be another 2018 sell-off. Was it you were looking at? It's like, hey, is this going to be the start? It's like, nope, just hold on. The Fed's waiting. And then the government showed up and said, I'm here to help. And then
I didn't see any announcement, though. I mean, maybe they don't even have to put out an announcement anymore. All they have to do is like send out, brainwaves. Like, just think about it.
Yeah, because look at the Dow here. We had not well formed, so that kind of adds to the mix there. But it was growing, and then it just fell off a cliff. Same thing with the NASDAQ, full bullish hurting, but yet the price dropped.
Yep.
But then it came right back, and it finished like it never happened. But yeah, it's one of these days. So I think it almost feels like they're training people. Like, do this, and here's an opportunity. You'll make a pile of money, and you'll buy it, and you'll get in. One of these days, it's not going to do this part. It's just going to keep going. And you're going to have everybody buying in because they think they're going to buy the dip because they're getting trained like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
And they're going to be hurting.
Yeah, that training has been taking place since the financial crisis. So the GFC in 2008, 2009, every time there's a dip, everybody's going to buy back in. At some point, I don't know when that's going to be. It's not going to work anymore. You're right.
Well, I think it was great that you said, it's great until, this works until it doesn't. And then when it doesn't, it's a big it doesn't.
Yeah. That's when the algos take over and they see the sentiment starting to go down. And they also see that, they start to trade under the 50-day or the 200-day moving average. And we're still quite a ways from that. But, at some point, they're going to say, yep, that's it.
I did notice, too, when I was watching yesterday's activity, if you guys were paying attention to the signals of supply and demand here, even on a 10-minute chart, we got a print here of 640 to the positive on the Dow. And right after that happened, it continued to stair step right up. And there was no counter one that painted on a 10-minute at least. I didn't go back and look at like the 1 minute, but we definitely had a signal here and we see the same thing happens. But here's one thing that I didn't like long-term is there was zero hurting to the bullish or bearish side. And just tiny supply demand. We're talking single digits here. So this isn't institutions doing this. This is all retail, in my opinion. And even now they're already dropping off because the first column's falling off. So we'll see what later today brings. But keep an eye on those. Those help you. So if you're in those short-term trades, which I highly recommend right now because you can't turn your back for 5 minutes and this market's going to rip one way or the other, is I use those short-term signals and watch for that. When those happen, that's your clues. And then when they announce Yellen, so what do we get to look for? How do you feel about Yellen being nominated to Treasury Secretary officially now, Dave?
Yeah, well, I congratulate her on being confirmed, and she's confirmed now actually, and she has the job, and I think she wants to go big, and she's right in line with the president's wishes to go big as well. The Democrats will get behind that. I think you'll probably find a few Republicans that in the Senate that will also go along with it, and they're going to go big. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the 1.9 trillion, maybe even 2.2 trillion. Maybe they'll tear it down as a compromise to 1.5 or 1.7, but it's still going to be big.
Yeah, I did see in an interview where they were talking. Well, they know that this is just an opening point. It's like you're buying a car. I want to sell my car for 1.9 trillion. Maybe I'll only give you 1.6 for it. That's basically what they're doing is they're negotiating with people's lives.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to stop. They're going to keep doing this. But with Yellen as the Treasury Secretary, you got to wonder what is going to be number one on her agenda. Obviously the pandemic is big because it's on the president's agenda. The economy is big. It's going to be on her agenda. But what are the little things that she's going to try to, whatever she can swat? What can she swat here? One of the things that I heard some scuttlebutt about is the fact that she really doesn't like or understand Bitcoin very much. Gary Gensler, who's now at the OCC, does understand it. Hopefully he can educate her a little bit. But at the same time, I think she's very skeptical. And, we're seeing, we see Bitcoin to try to pump up a little bit. We're at 13.8 or 31.8 now. And it went up to around 34, and then it got swatted a little bit after those comments came out.
Yeah, and we see, I'll bring over our fun crypto charts here. Definitely shorter ranges so far. Yesterday was a big wick on the top side, but yeah, lower low coming in. I personally see it going back down to 20, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the level it's probably going to go back down to, and then maybe we'll see another leg up after that. Or I don't know, but that seems to be the logical support.
Or they completely destroy it and it goes down to here.
Yeah, and that's a possibility too, because we really don't have. There's no backing to Bitcoin. There's it's a computer code. That's all it is. It's a computer code. But people trade it. And as long as there's trading, people are going to be buying and selling. If there's more selling than buying, then it's going to go down. If there's more buying than selling, it's going to go up. Sentiment-wise, I think the kind of enthusiasm about Bitcoin is kind of worn off a little bit. If something exciting happens in that space again, maybe it'll go up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just it, right? We talk about the buying and the selling and hurting, and as soon as it's not news anymore, and everybody that made it do this because they all piled into it, when they say it's not going up anymore, I'm not making any more money, and I'm going to sell mine because whatever, I got what I got, and it's not the news anymore. It's not their 50 minutes of fame, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that thing's got nothing else to run with.
Yeah, well, what is the support there? I have no idea except the small supply. But there was a report that I saw this week that came out, or I'm sorry, it was last week, that 95% of the Bitcoin is owned by 2% of the whales, a 2% majority. That's a lot of power in just a 2% of all the traders in Bitcoin.
And so that people that have resources like that have people or machines or algorithms or whatever you want to call it that are trading it to make their own funds out of it. So when you control that much of it, whatever you want to do, you can do. You want to drive the price up or down, you do it because you control all of it. And so people see something, then they'll pile in and follow you. Then they're selling and they're buying from you. They're like the broker. Excuse me.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want, and it's really just a trading vehicle. I'm not sure, it's not tied to earnings. It's not tied to the economy. It's not tied to There's no backing on it. There's no, I mean, yeah, it's unique. Um, just like tulip bulbs were unique in Holland back in the day before, you know, where everybody found out, hey, I can just go get some more. I don't need to buy it from the exchange anymore. But it's just like a comment. It's a little computer code. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, and I know that we invested and traded and did many things over years. After when this happened, then I started having different thoughts about it, and we talked about it. It's not a secret to you guys that we sold it. I'm personally out of everything. I don't own any more crypto at this point because I started just looking at the big picture, and I took a step back and I said, what's the best place that I can leverage my funds? And it wasn't in this side of the world, if you want to call it that. So I moved my capital elsewhere. So I just kind of watch this just to watch it now. And I found interesting, and I may have mentioned this before, is when you suddenly have no stake in something and you look at it, you see it completely differently. And I look at crypto completely differently after I don't hold anything.
Yeah, me too. It's just you think that the story there is utility. So for XRP it was utility, for XLM it was utility, Ethereum it was utility, and a lot of these different coins are utility. But then the utility, where's the utility? I've been waiting since when I first got in September 2017 in the crypto space for that utility to really hit mainstream. Yeah, it was 3.5 years ago almost. I still don't know where the utility is. Where is the utility? Where is it being used? In some sort of mainstream application. I don't know. I still don't have that answer. And so, at some point you have to say, hey, look, there's other things I can invest in. So for example, in Thursday's Wealth Masterclass for you guys, we're going to be talking some of the macro trends, the really big stuff, the economy. We're going to be talking about positioning and different assets that, help you take advantage of the really big trends going forward. I don't think cryptocurrency is going to be there. I think the newness of it, the uniqueness, what am I searching for here? What's that word? Just kind of I don't know, just a hot topic, I guess. It's not really a hot topic anymore, I don't think. After PayPal came out and said, hey, you can buy Bitcoin on PayPal, it's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, it had a little short run up, but then not anymore. I think, it feels like, it's not the hot news anymore. Like you say, it's not the hot topic. It's not trending. It's not, it's been around long enough. We've went through this roller coaster a few times, right? Just as a general public, back when Bitcoin took off and you heard about people losing their hard drives, and all the talk is about this guy that has 2 chances left to unlock his password because he doesn't have his passcodes.
Yeah.
It's like the hot thing now is like, okay, is this guy going to lose all of his money or not? It's like, well, then you see like Schiff tweeting, well, if I buried gold in the sand, I can still go get it. Or whatever he's talking about. So that's pretty funny. But I was watching Andre's, I put notes in the VXX trade, Andre. So the first week is already ready for you to take action. And the masterclass information got emailed out this weekend. So if you didn't see it, check your junk folders because they love to not deliver. I saw at least half of the people did see it. And if you didn't receive it and you don't have it in your junk folders, email me at support@tradingology.com and we'll make sure you're on the list for the Wealth Masterclass. It is Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern. So you should see the 2 trades, just so you know. They're both positive and we're over $100 in profits. So it is high time to take that first trade off. So you guys that are following the VXX that are in there, I personally am looking at pulling that trade off. So trader's prerogative. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what we're doing.
We just went negative on the advanced declines.
Yeah, we can take one last look at our internals over here. Did I move it somewhere else? Oh, I have it on this one, and I just have to let it go back down because we're looking at the crazy people. Oh yeah, and as soon as the volume gets below it too, that's another interesting point. So if they both break negative is a big one to watch out for, guys, which makes a really good time right now to look at that VXX, because if things go more negative, we could get a pop in VXX.
Yeah.
Right now it's at the bottom of the Darvis box.
Yeah, it was funny. It was up yesterday, even before the market declined.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting leading indicator, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, hasn't responded to this little decline yet, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, big stuff Thursday. We're going to talk about macro, big trends. The most exciting thing I think that's coming for a lot of what's going to happen in the market is going to be commodities, which are not really here yet, but we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you some specific symbols that I'm going to be studying and at some point start to make investments in. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing.
And for anyone out there listening, or any of you guys here that aren't in it, shoot me an email at support@tradingology.com, and there might be something we can get you into the Wealth Masterclass for something. So if you're interested and you're not in, say, hey, what are these guys talking about? Let me know, and I can work something out with Dave. We'll get it figured out for you.
Awesome.
With that, gents, I think we'll probably call it a wrap for today, and we will be back here for the trading room on Thursday. So once again, if you missed it, trading room schedules are back to Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is a schedule we were on like about a year ago. Then tomorrow, Dave will not be around for the VXX, but I will do a short one. So right around the VXX members, that call will be on right around market open. So Dave, we will see you back here live on Thursday. Enjoy your time on Wednesday as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys too. And Thursday will be a busy day with with everything. And I second Tom's appreciation of you showing up, Dan.
Thanks, Tom. You have a great day, man.
See you guys. Have a great one.
See you, everyone.